it's interesting on the internet because everyone's in such different zones. So April looks so different everywhere. But here I'm starting to see things pop up. I'm starting to plant a lot of things outside. This was the first week that our nights have pretty much been warm enough to not kill things. Um, so slowly but surely getting into the gardening season, which is really exciting. This year, I'm trying to do so many different things and focus on uh, creating perennial structured areas, which before I did not have a lot of. Before last year, I mainly had vegetable gardening spaces. And then in the fall, or last year, I started this shade garden, which ended up having a lot more sun than I thought it did. And that's when I started trying to turn it into a cottage garden, which it probably can be, but there are still some perennial shade items that are in here. Um, a lot of typical cottage garden plants are like full sun, or at least mostly sun. And while it does get a lot more sun than I thought, it's still not like a full sun area. This is actually where I put anything that needs shade, because in the summertime, the main garden is just full sun, full heat, full everything. And it really gives certain plants a hard time. I wanted to document this process as far as like how things look each week throughout the season. Right now, it's going to look really sparse. Up here in the cottage area, there's still a ton of leaves. I left them to mulch this area over winter, and I'm leaving them like that. I just move stuff away as I plant things. Um, I don't know. That's just, I'd rather keep it that way. This was entirely grass before last year. And so I laid cardboard down, mulched it, and that's what's pretty much made it an area that I can even plant into. And so I think that having the leaves there is important, at least has been throughout this process. Um, but I'm working on so many new areas all at once. There's one, two, three, four different gardening areas that I'm working on. So it's quite a lot. One of my biggest issues is not planning enough. I'm always afraid that I'm going to plant too much and then I don't plant enough. And we're not going to do that this year because I actually have so much weed pressure because there's so much space in between plants. And so this year I'm going to try and plant everything. Everything that I also, does anyone else have this? Like I get scared about using all of my seeds. Like, I'm afraid. I don't know what it is, actually. I don't know what that fear is. But like, I have extra seeds and I just don't want to use them because I don't want to not have seeds. Mind you, I have like barrels of seeds. I don't. I have like, I have enough to be planting my seeds. Um, so this year, I think I just planted 12 sunflower seed packets yesterday. Um, and while like, it's not that we have a ton of space, but we do have quite a bit. To me, it feels like quite a bit to me. I'll say that. And so just thinking through the amount of plants that we have to plant, like trays and trays and trays to fill the space that we have. And so because that can be really expensive, I'll get like a couple plants here or there. And so far up here, it's like a hodgepodge of random things that there was really no plan for. But I kind of want to see what happens. I'm going to be adding in some plants and see like how that goes this year. And then if I want to actually make changes, I at least know what I'm working with. Because silly me was in such a rush in the winter that I just threw things in the ground and did not mark it. I just really believed in myself. I really believed that I would remember, and I have no idea. And so it's funny because I just planted an eclipse hydrangea, and then something sprouted immediately next to it. And I said, "Oh, so cute that I planted something there," that I do not remember what. That is my That is my main fault in gardening, is believing in myself too much. Believing in my memory to remember the things that I've done. And I have a book and I try to write down as much as I can of like, this is when I planted this is what I put where. But there are days where like I just really want to get something in the ground and then who knows. But I will show you this front space. I'll keep I think I'll probably try and keep updates every week and just see what's going on. Um, because it may also be a surprise to me. So these are my love children. I love these wholeheartedly. Um, I have about 4 of them. I'm going to attempt to propagate some, or actually, I'm going to attempt to collect seed pods from them and plant even more. I just love this specific color. It's like pinkish purple. It's like a pinky lavender with green. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it so much. So these, I've got 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. I've got some hostas in the back, which is like one of the main issues because there's going to be a lot of tall stuff in the middle. And, you know, I put those there randomly last year and I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to move those. The one in the back is an Empress Wu, though, so I'm not really concerned about that because it should get pretty big. These are hydrangeas, limelights. This side of the situation does get more sun than the other side. We got a lot of little things up in front. So a lot of little guys doing some stuff, but not height. And so the big thing about I'm trying to get height into these front gardens. So I'll put up some of the things that I'm adding for height. Delphiniums, snapdragons, things like that. But I also really want this to be perennial forward. I don't want to be adding a bunch of annual stuff in here. The clematis is trailing. I hope that it does well this year. I planted it in the fall, so I've never seen it actually grow. But so far, I mean, it's alive. This is the clematis. Obviously, she's doing her thing. She's found the arch. She just needs to climb up it. There's one on each side. And it's basically a duplicate on this side. Same thing's going on, maybe a little bit different of a space. So we got some ranunculus. There's ranunculus on the other side too. I've never had luck with growing ranunculus, but these they're up. They're in different places. They exist here. But only 2 have bloomed so far. So I'm not really sure. They're one of my favorite actual cut flowers. They don't seem to like growing here, which is fine. That happens. And I have some more clematis, the same variety actually in the front arches as well. So she's about knee height. She's making some progress. Since I've never had her before, I'm not sure what's normal for her growing wise. I'm gonna finish my coffee and figure out what chores I need to get done for the day.